Welcome back to Factorio, the Nullius mod and the October-November community map. So last time I got the fibre made, also tidied up this area. Guess there's a quick little fix I can do there, don't know why it's an underground. So I think I'll be doing this time is I want to continue towards getting the next tier of robots. So I did the fibre for that, but I'm also going to need batteries. That's going to be the big thing right now. I think sensors I've already got, standard turbines I've already made, and robot frames I've already made. So batteries will be the thing to look at. But first, what I actually want to do is do some quick tidy up. I kind of like this to not be here. And I also don't really want to build over the iron ore. So I think I'm going to do is get rid of that. Then put new miners down. Whatever works quite nicely. Because as well as the old miners not going anywhere, because they don't have the extra reach, you can see it's like mining out a strip and it's leaving gaps. So put these down and that should mine out those gaps as well, so that'll be good. And then what I'm going to do is merge that together and feed it into hair input priority. And I think there's another small piece I saw, yeah, there's this one here. Going through all there is a bit of a pain. Maybe what I'll do is I'll go down and around. In the future I might do the same with these, but for now I just want to get rid of these two small little patches because they're kind of annoying. They're not worth building anything special for, and I'd rather not build over them. I'd like them to just be used up. So same idea of this one. However miners kind of fit, so some miners there, some miners there, and some miners there I guess. Then I'll do some belt balancing, that's not going to be quite even. I guess that'd be mostly on the right hand side, so if it's mostly on the right hand side, I think what I want to do is that, and then it'll be even on the left and the right roughly. And yeah, that can go down, come around, link up with this one, and then go over there, and that can be used as priority over this one, and hopefully they'll be depleted fairly quickly. So pretty minimal effort, but very simple and should work. The other bit of housekeeping I think I need to do is this is down to 27k. So what I think I'm going to do is the sandstone up there, but I don't want to move the glass. So I think I'll do is I'll make the sand, and I can basically just change the direction of this belt to bring the sand down instead of up. One belt should be plenty for the silicon glass right now. So I'm going to start on that. I probably won't change this piece here until that's actually fully depleted, but definitely get started on setting it up. So I think starting about as far north as I can, looks like it's going to be about there. Get some beacons in, and then it's crushers, so I don't know how many of these I should go, maybe 4 on each side, so like that and like that. Make sure I add modules to them because I always forget. So it's going to be input on that side, output on that side, and I guess I might as well go with the most efficient beacon layout. So we're going to have beacons there, more beacons, let's just go that rock, more beacons there. Then another output belt there, basically just repeating this again, so more crushers, another belt, and then more beacons. So pretty simple layout. Going to have, I think with the speed, because this is a very high throughput recipe, and with the beacon boosting as well, let's have 4 on each of those. Or not 4 on each of those, 2 on each of those, 2 input, 2 output. Obviously that goes the opposite way around, so that I can merge them easily. So that goes there, then I've got that which I've built in slightly the wrong place. Let's just move that like one tile there. I don't know if it's going to be fully balanced, then I can build more miners later if I need them. But for now I'm just going to go with that, so that's simple. Get some substations, can that reach everything? Not quite, well that's slightly unfortunate. Let's see what the best way around for that's going to be then. So there's going to be another splitter there to merge them. It's also going to actually filter them, do a filter and a merge at the same time. And if I move that very slightly, it can actually reach all of them. So they should now work. Now it's going to come down there. And I want to separate the sand and the, I think it's stone or is it gravel? One or the other. It is going to be stone. So sand and stone both will come straight down. So sand is going to go that way. In fact, I do actually need one more tile of space. That does reach, cool, that is good. So splitter there, to the left and down. Then stone goes there, into there. How am I actually doing for stone? Starting to get full, so more and more boxes. One day I'll get around to actually doing something with the stone, but right now I've just not gone off acid to use it all up. Not even using up all the gravel, that's going very slowly. So that is now working. Looks like I actually only needed maybe 2 on each side, but in the future I can upgrade this to a fast belt if I need more sand. At the moment I'm not actually using that much sand, but future-proof layout, so that's good to have. And like I said, I'll leave the other thing in place until this last little bit is actually used up. Final bit of house cleaning, hopefully. So when I set this up as input priority, I should have kept using these, because until I actually transition this rubber setup here, which I also forgot to upgrade, so going to upgrade that with productivity. So, and did I forget productivity in those as well? Well, I did terribly upgrading this section, I just forgot the whole thing. But when I moved the stuff down, I didn't move this propane, so nothing up here is using this propane except this. So this here actually does need to be priority. So what I'm going to do is put a separate belt in here. Looks like I broke something there as well somehow, not sure what that's about. So I'm going to put a separate belt in, and I can come all the way across there and give that input priority. And then if I give that input priority there, then that should give me a solution to use up that propane, because it's going to get priority over the new plastic. Even though this is less efficient, it's just a quick and easy way of doing that. Then I want this to be on both sides of the belt, so I think if I do that and then put that there, then that will be on the top and the bottom of that belt, so that should work. And as soon as that's upgraded, I'll put productivity modules in them. So onto batteries. So the new things here that I've not done at all before would be carbon fibre. The other stuff I did at least briefly to make the chassis free, although I didn't do a proper automated setup. So carbon fibre, looking at that, needs argon and acrylic fibre, which I did before, so that is just that. So argon, I believe that comes from this, yep. So I need residual gas, and that was a variation on air separation. Now when I looked at this before when I first got the tech, you can see it's going from 150 to 40 carbon dioxide to 100 to 30. So I did not do the upgrade because it produces less CO2, which was my limit here, but now I need some more. Well, now I need the residue specifically rather than just basically throwing it away. Guess I'll be doing the upgrade. So let's see if I can move some of this around a little bit. So basically going to use the same design here, even if it's going from 150 to 100. Since these will produce essentially 150 and then these need 300 or 200, it's not a nice ratio anyway, so I'm still going to have two. It's just not going to run all the time. And since this uses up so little power anyway, and these don't exactly use up a lot of power, I don't think they're worth putting productivity in them. It might be worth putting efficiency modules in, or maybe speed modules for just throughput, but I don't think productivity is worth it on these, because the input is basically unlimited and basically free. And actually, just since I've got the mirrored ones, let's use a mirrored one. Probably give me a better layout on this. So air separation 2. So that's the thing I want. Nitrogen I can dump in with that nitrogen, that won't be too much of an issue. That nitrogen there rather. And CO2, so I think I've got a plan for this. So these here have not 85% pressure. If I upgrade these have 90% pressure. So if I move the pipe onto the 80% pressure one, just put that charging port somewhere else. Let's see, where can it go? It can go there. So move that onto that one. Then these are two output tanks, so it's not pushing directly into an output tank, so you've got tank to tank transfer going on. And this tank can't actually fill these tanks up, it's not possible. It can't do the last 5%. So because of that, this surplus one will now get absolute priority, and I should be okay if I take this and mix it with that surplus one, because that's going to be an awful lot more surplus than I had before, because compared to like iron processing or something, I think 60 per second times 2 actually, so 120 per second is probably, yeah, it's a lot more than it was doing before. But I think with the change on the tanks that should be okay. Then nitrogen can just come across here, and I'm just going to take that down and dump it in with the other nitrogen. Don't really care about priority there. It's either going to get pumped into these tanks, or if these tanks are all full, it's going to get vented. What I do get though is the residual gas, which is what I wanted. That's the important thing. So residual gas comes up there. Kind of a shame it's not the middle one. It would have been easier, but let's look at this residual separation. So I don't know what trace gas is for. Water, that's such a small amount of water, it's not worth worrying about. Find the closest place to dump it, or actually there's a pipe up there, I can merge it with that pipe, that solves that. So that can go on there nice and tidily, that gives that an input. Find some power poles for that stuff. So argon is the thing I want. This I guess I'll just put it into some tanks. I think I can fit small tanks there. And then water, I'm just going to take it up to here and dump it in the nearest pipe. So that would be that one. So those tanks, mate, yeah, try and get the rotation correct. It's hard to tell on these, I find. Looks like that's correct. And kind of concerned that might fill up, so I'm going to put a chimney on it just in case it does fill up. Then the argon will just come down and it's going to join up with this bus here, so I'll make a new pipeline for it. Maybe not there, that's in the way of the hydrogen, so I think there looks good. And I did that wrong, so because that small tank has an output on the side there, this doesn't fit. So what I should have done is built it that way round, and then that way round, that doesn't conflict. So looking at some of those other recipes I'm using, like carbon monoxide, that outputs 8 water every second when these are running. Kind of seem to be a bit backed up since I've not been building stuff very quickly, so I guess I should hurry up and build stuff. But if that's outputting 8 every cycle, and if this is only requiring 3, then I suspect I'm water positive with that. So what I think I should do is if I change that and put a auxiliary valve up 25%, that's going to let this pipe slowly fill up to about 25% before it dumps it. And I think that's going to provide enough water for what I need here. So if I can, I think if I go down to 2 tiles there, then that gives me a space there to do something. Actually, if that undergrounds, then even better, that provides a space there. Output can be on the top, and there can be some more beacons. So that all works fairly nicely. Kind of unfortunate I hit that, so I guess I lose a beacon. I don't mind moving the turbine. Moving these relays is a bit of a pain because then it leaves gaps in the logistics network. And although I'm not using the bots for production, it's annoying when you walk around and your personal logistics breaks because all the bots turn around because you just stepped outside of it. So going to avoid doing that. Don't know why I made that a grey pipe. So for water, I think I can get water around there once that is doing something. So I do actually need these machines to not be completely stopped. I have to see about that. Maybe I just need to make a big request for something like plastic so that this actually moves, because then I'll get some more water output. But otherwise that's easy, and this I think can follow. Yeah, if I just follow along the epoxy there. So epoxy goes, that hits that, doesn't it? Well, that's unfortunate. Let's just move that slightly then. Let's say I moved it to, I want this output here, don't I? Let's just go 1 tile below the epoxy, that makes it neater. You can always pipe that around there and then join that together. And then finish up. I'm not sure which direction this is going to go in the end, but it's going to be some sort of belt there. On to looking at carbon fibre, and that's one of those recipes that is going to not play very well with modules. So trying to work out how I could do this. One option would be to do something like that. And then I think I'd have to do input and output on the same side, because once there's tiles, there's only one space there, so you can't do underground belts, it doesn't fit. Could do input output like that, and then you get beacons there, so I guess that works. So you can do that, move that down to somewhere that's not exactly in line, so it'd be like there. It does mean the pipes have to go up there, or they'd have to go down there, so either way it's not going to tile. So that is a little bit unfortunate. Oh, also actually the spacing on these is different because that's a bigger machine than this. So that doesn't reach. I don't think I've got a bigger furnace yet. Nope, I've only got medium furnaces. I think there's a bigger one later. I'm sure I saw a large one. So ideally actually that needs to go here. So I guess that works, I can do that. It means I won't be able to use the beacons here, so I won't be able to have more machines here, but that's probably okay. So as long as it doesn't line up perfectly with that. At the moment I don't think I need more solvents. I'll probably regret this later and have to move stuff, but I think moving things later is easy, because once I've done the layout I can always copy like this, and like I can just copy paste. It's a lot easier to do it later than to do it the first time, is basically my thinking there. Then I do actually need to get that input down as well, so actually I do need to leave a space. Let's just move that one over there. I'll just leave that much space, it's probably fine. So that will go like that. Then I'll have a filter, and I'll filter it for carbon fibre. So output carbon fibre on the right. All the pipes can join together at the top there. Debate, I really want the pipes at the bottom. Like, that's the obvious place for the pipes. Debating the best way of doing this. Taking advantage of that copy paste I just mentioned. Could do it like there, maybe. Can always move that power pole, and yeah, probably keeps other stuff roughly out the way. So let's try with that. I can change the direction of that and build the belt in the other direction. Power can be a substation around here somewhere. There we go. Get rid of this then, not needed. Do I still want that module? Nope, don't want that beacon either. So then, wish I'd left myself one extra tile. Let's see if I can move this one tile over. Yeah, that works. So one extra tile so I can side load on there. Then I just need to bring the acrylic fibre down from there. And if I build something here in the future, it's easy enough to move this belt if I need to. In fact, actually, I found I can make that more compact. Because if I'm not doing any belts over there, because I don't fit anyway, then I could have just done that and taken it off the end there. In which case, all of this can actually move up a tile, and then it would line up with those beacons, which should just be neater. Now, for that ammonia output, I think the way to do this is to give it priority over this. And this isn't exactly the harsh throughput thing anyway, so I'm just going to make that a lower quality pipe, so that's going to limit how much can go in that direction. I guess actually a top up valve would be more technically correct. That would do 50% instead of 40. So 50% is closer to the 60, so I'll go with 50 for this one. And carbon fibre is working, so let's see what else these batteries needed. So I've got most of that done before, so sodium I can do with the sodium hydroxide over there. Then iron oxide, so there's a couple of steps. I could try and make it from this iron I've got here, let's see. So sludge I can probably deal with, I've got caustic solution over there, so that's workable. I just have to crush it first. Yeah, I don't really want to deal with the stone, because I can't just dump the stone easily, and already got a big enough problem with the stone, just filling up boxes and boxes up there. I don't need to have another place for stone. So I think what I could do, probably the easiest solution would be just to steal some of this. So if I put a thing in there, put a splitter, then I'm just going to do it on one side of the belt so I have less of it. I'm not too worried about this being left-right balanced in this case, it just needs to work. And I guess the easiest place to put a belt would be next to this one, because I've already got this belt here, so I'm just going to follow it around to somewhere around here. Except I will need to actually go around that, because I think that's now... Yeah, I won't be able to underground belt all of that, so I have to go around that. Bit unfortunate, a bit messy, but I guess that works. So iron oxide will go here. Aluminium sheets, so let's get aluminium wads then, which I guess aluminium wads are up here somewhere. Actually, I've got sheets here. Where did these sheets come from? Actually, it's not even aluminium wads I want, it's aluminium plates, it's this one. So if I could extend this to be, well, bigger, then that could work. So it'd be, probably want two of them. So the main challenge on that's going to be lubricant, unfortunately. It's always a bit of a pain with furnaces. I really wish they had a mirrored version. It would make this a lot easier. I think the easiest way is going to be if I pipe across to there. That inserts a bit of a nuisance. Let's see if I can come up with a better solution. Does that go under there? Well, it can go under there. It doesn't, but it could. In fact, is that just a completely separate pipe? No, it went under there until I deleted it. But it could do that once again. So, make that go under again. Then it can go across to there. I can fix that to join up again. And then that can go there. That's a lot of pipes, but it will work. So that'll work. Then inputs there and outputs there. So I've already made there. So that leaves sodium hydroxide to sodium. So what I think I can do is if I move this belt over here so it's a bit neater. So get rid of all of this. Then I can put some electrolyzers over here just to see what the input layout is on them. Got a nice mirrored one again, so this should be relatively tidy. So sodium hydroxide gives more water and oxygen. I don't think I've dealt with excess oxygen before, but since I'm venting so much oxygen here anyway when I make the hydrogen, probably the solution is just to vent this oxygen. So I think then what I want is that way around. Put that there, that should be tidy. It's a very fast recipe, even though it doesn't take productivity or beacons. Yeah, 1 second and 4. So let's just assume we're going to need lots of inserters like that to make this work. Then what do I want with the pipes? So those I can just join together and then vent, make a chimney, and it will vent easily. Probably just need a basic chimney as well. Then try to work these outputs out. I think upwards would be neater, but the water is up there, probably get in the way, so let's go with that way. So that gets that out the way. Actually, I guess I can go up as well. That would be possibly neater. Let's try it. So underground and out the way. Leaves a space there for the chimney. So that vents the oxygen and leaves a space there for the water pipe. That can now link up there, and I can just join it with some more water I've got around here. Oh, I forgot I actually made more water there, but I don't think I want to join it with that. It'll probably get stuck. And it's actually quite a bit more water this time as well. Let's join it up with this water here. I'll take it down to the bus. Yeah, I kind of figured that I didn't have enough insert capacity for that. You can see it keeps hitting full. Well, now it's backed up. It kept hitting item ingredient shortage. So I do have better inserters. I just haven't got the stuff to make them yet, so I'll have to deal with bearings later or do it another time. But for now, I do have sodium. So I think that gives me everything I need. I just need to decide where to put the batteries. Thinking possibly over here, because it is an output that needs to go up north, so building it down here would probably be somewhat counterproductive. So let's have a look up there and see what I can do with the layout. Something I am noticing is there's a lot of inputs. That is 5 solid inputs, which means I need at least 3 belts and a pipe. So that's going to be decidedly non-beacon friendly. I don't think there's really much I can do to make it more beacon friendly. So that's a bit unfortunate, but I'll do the best I can. So take a basic mirrored, I think it's the right machine. Let's take a basic mirrored one. Then I guess I can leave some space between them vertically if I need to. There it is, batteries. So input there on the fluid. Probably need that to be on the opposite side to the beacons, but then I'm only going to be able to get... Yeah, this is where the challenge is. So if I do that, I can only get 1 belt in here. And I can get 2 belts here if I do like this with the pipes and get the pipes out the way. Well, it's 4 solid inputs. No, it's 5 solid inputs, so it'd need to be like input, more inputs, and more inputs, then output. Then at the end there I could do a filter. So yeah, definitely not a compact layout. How slow are these? 10 seconds, so I'll do 4 of them, that'll probably be fine. I'm not going to get as much speed boost as the other machines, unfortunately, but I probably could work out a way of doing it, but right now I just want a quick solution. So quick solution is going to be this. So iron oxide and aluminium sheets, they're up north, so at least one of these belts can be in the downwards direction, so like that. And I've already got stuff coming across here, so probably that makes a good place to do that. If I just change this slightly, If I make that do something like that and move that to like that, then I've left myself a space to get that through, so that's good. So that's one part of it, and then aluminium sheets, they were up here, weren't they? So if they come down, a lot of this is depleted anyway, so I can just get it out the way. So if they come down there, underground that, make sure I don't have that on the belt by accident, and then that's going to side load. Oops, wrong direction. Side load, so that's going to have iron oxide and aluminium sheets on opposite sides. Then probably plastic and sodium, since I've got the plastic over here. And there's probably no particular reason why those pipes had to be exactly in the way. So if I can move those out the way and have a regular belt, then that's kind of in the way as well. Well, I can merge over here, so if that goes all the way across there, side loads, that's now going to merge, and I can use a splitter there. So that's plastic and sodium, and they can come straight across just underneath this glass setup and up here. Then the last thing was the carbon fibre, so that needs to be on this side of the belt, and at least until I build something else, and then I can try and clear some space or something, I guess, or just probably not, but if I do need the space I can move this belt easy enough. So carbon fibre can go here, and that is on this belt here right now. Then finally solvent. Solvent is here. I think, is that solvent? Yeah. And unfortunately that turbine's starting there. I don't want to move the turbine just because of a piece of pipe. So I'm going to put the pipe here instead then. And for the time being I'm going to put it there. The more I think about it, the more I suspect at some point I'm going to move this, because I might as well make use of those beacons. But until I decide what machines to put there, if any, I might as well, probably textile actually, thinking about it, because textile uses acrylic. But until then I'll just leave this here because it's the easiest place to put it. So since these are both next to each other, one thing I'm going to do actually is merge these two belts, and right now the only thing I actually need them for is Robot 2s, and since Robot 2s need both of them, that's even more ideal. And I was thinking about putting them on the bus, but I'd have to go all the way around the edge of the mall to get to the bus and then find a way back through, because probably I'm going to build these robots here, which is, well, it's hard to get anything through there now. So since this isn't exactly far away, I'm just going to come up there and do it here, I think. Just bring it in from the south. So not sure I'm going to use beacons with these or not, because there's not a great deal of space here, and beacons aren't actually that great for making things compact. At least when you want low volume. If you want like high volume, then with speed boost you can do very well, but for low volume, don't think so. So go look at these. I guess I'll do, how much does this take? 15 seconds to make 2, and this takes 12 seconds to make 2. But having looked at the recipe, you need to make one of these. So you need an existing robot plus one of these, and one of these needs one of these. So yeah, even though I did speed boost there, I think even though it's 12 to 15, probably without the speed boost I'm fine just doing 1-to-1 ratio. So basically going to be looking at what I can do with that. They're going to come down there, so I guess kind of informs me that probably I'm looking at, maybe there looks good, so I can have one belt. I can bring the other stuff up there, so I can bring that up, bring it over to here, and then that gives me an input and an input. Then thinking this through, so I've got sensors there actually, so if I can put sensors on the same belt as those, that'd probably be the most ideal thing. Let's see if I can think about doing this. Put that there, no, okay, touch that belt. Okay, so if I do it there, bring that round there, side load on there, and they can go where they're going before. So that works very well for those. Fiberglass and batteries are taken care of. Standard turbine 2s, this could be a problem. I did not set this up for high scale production. 12 seconds to make exactly one of them, and I'm going to need ideally one every 15 seconds. This is going to be an issue. I guess backup turbine 2s was something I never automated, so I can clear that out the way for a second. And let's clear that out the way. What would it look like if I tried to have 2 of these? Or if I tried to make this a large assembly machine? Large assembly machine would give me significantly more speed. It's double the speed. So basically crafting speed 1 on the robots, crafting speed 4 on the standard turbines. That would actually be about right. Given that these are long and there's a space here, I think that works. So larger sewing machine is that one. That still fits with all of these. That goes across there. As long as this has enough throughput as well, otherwise I might have an issue. And I think I can. Yeah. However, I just realised this larger sewing machine can't automatically do everything a medium one can. I was like, actually, does it fit? It does fit though, so that goes there, and I need to change this around a little bit. So this is the output for making wind turbines, so that's important. And I think it's still useful to have a box of them, so let's put some of those back in the box. Get rid of anything extra I picked up. So what's the speed on this? This is 2 every 6 seconds. I should have put the yield modules back in there. This needs 4, so yeah, I do actually need to upgrade this too. I think I'm okay because nothing here actually uses those. I just need to get past. Getting more complicated, but that can do that. Then if that does that, then this can be a large one here. Oh, can a large one not... I might have just hit the issue that I was talking about. Can a large one not do gears? No, it cannot. Put everything back again. Let's try and think of another solution then. I can put one there. That works, hopefully. So, input there, output there. And then actually that can still get past there. It can go under that one. And I think I've actually found a solution that does work. And then I do need these over to the west, so I can take another inserter there and then go westwards. Can I get past all that? I can get past all that, so that actually does work, and I have my standard turbines with double the production I had before. So if that one's already going to be a double belt for the other stuff, then I think what I can do then is if that's there, if I did want to put speed beacons on there, I actually could put them there. So I'll decide on that, I'll think about it for a little bit more. But then this here will be these. So now I've got the robot frames basically made, I need to look at how to make the robots themselves. So this is a module now, so instead of just a circuit, it's a module. That's more complicated. So that's efficiency module and yield module. So I can make those, but I have made them miles and miles away over to the east. I don't really want to run a belt that far. Let's see if I can do this. I could use a logistics box. Like, it is always an option available to me, but let's see if I've got a good solution without one. So efficiency module requires just that. And it's actually stuff I've got here. I just didn't have a large scale production of it, which could be the issue here too. Especially when it takes 12 seconds to make one of them. Then the yield module needs 2 of those and a haste module. So it looks like I need a lot more efficiency modules. Let's do... I don't know, maybe it's 3 and 4, so... 3 and 1 rather. Where did I get 3 and 4 from? So efficiency and haste module. So I need green, logic, arithmetic and memory. I think I had green up here. Green is here. Green was... I think that's the wrong way around, yep. But I do have green here if I can find a way of getting the belt out. Probably could extend this lamp one if I go red belt. Red belt can go that far. Okay, so that gives me a space to get the green out potentially. I can go out that way. Then... wow, this is very, very, very short on space here. How far can I go with that? Not really far enough. What about from there to there? So if I move that, move that, move that there, underground that, now I've got a space there, underground that, and I guess I can just move there. We'll do that. Then if that's all moved around, green wires rather, can go here. Logic circuits I can take from there, so that's that one. Arithmetic I can take from there. And memory, I'd have to come over there. Why is that broken? So if I can move that more out of the way, then yeah, I can do that because that insert is there and there. Then if I move that out of the way like so, then I've got a space there. Arithmetic is there. I'm going to need filters for both of them, but there's an option. So that gets those, then filter there, there. So that is memory and that is arithmetic. So arithmetic, that gives both of those. Plus logic circuits there. I think that's everything I need to make these modules. Let's see if I can make them compact over here. Might actually want to speed boost these if I can. I wonder if it's worth it. And actually I don't need the haste module itself, do I? I just need the other module. So that needs that. Where's the yield module? That uses 2 efficiencies. I wonder if I do like... Well, let's actually keep that there. Because I could insert across like that or something to that effect. Then have that there. Then have that be another output. That works. And there's some extra ones there. I think I need more of those. Then... I've not left myself. I really hate beacons. They really are not my favourite, honestly. If I wanted to put speed beacons on this, then I'd need to have just one belt there, which doesn't fit. So that idea doesn't work anyway, or at least not in that form. So let's try a different form. So they both need green circuits and they both need logic circuits. So both of them down there. I can still insert across there and I can underground belt there for inputs on those. So output would be on there and then the other like extra thing would be on there as well. Then actually that needed to go a little bit up there. Direct insert to that. And then I can do input and output on there. And that does leave enough space for beacons. So with the beacons I think it would be... I'll just do 3 because that's more cost effective. So I think it'll be like that. I might move that in a moment. I want to see what I need for the other robots. So if that's going to be 2 more small assemblers, they're going to have a similar setup to this actually if I can. In fact, let's just copy that. So I want to keep this setup because it makes them easier to output. So that means construction bots are the bottom one and logistics bots are the top one. Then they need the module input and they need the existing bots. So I guess I can bring the modules across like that, or well, they're going to be separate belts anyway. Like they're already going to be separate belts. Nothing I can do about that. So essentially that'd be 1 and 2 or something to that effect. Then the other input would be... Yeah, I guess I could actually line up with that. So I'll put those standard turbines on potentially the wrong side. But I think at this point it'll be easier to use another belt. I'm not too worried about speed on this, to be honest. I just want it to kind of work and it'll get there eventually. So I can put that there. Then that can get input there and there. So that'll give them robot frames. Feed into these boxes, feed into the robot ports. And eventually I'll actually need to get the robots from here to here, but since this looks like it's a 1-to-1 upgrade and I don't really want to increase the actual numbers right now, I'm quite happy to have 500 or so. What I'm going to do is... trying to think. I basically want to get the existing robots and put them into these. So I think what I'd do is... Yeah, now I've done that upgrade, this can just go away entirely for the time being, and when I need these in the future I'll have them. So that works. So that means I can then use a requester chest without them going from here to here, because I don't want them to do that on the requester chest really. But I do want to get the robots over eventually, so that will go there. That's going to be... Which one was that? That was logistics, wasn't it? Yep, logistics. So all logistics bots go to the top one. And then all the construction bots, they go to the bottom one. And I think I had an upgrade thing, but I can't remember because it's not a mod I've used for a while because I've not had different types of robots for a while. So I did find the item, and really frustratingly it is a long way down the tech tree. It's still on the same tech tier, but there's a lot more research to do, so that research can carry on ticking over in the background, I suppose. But that's not going to be available anytime soon, unfortunately. So for now, I guess getting the personal robots upgraded would be the biggest deal. And I'll have to see about either doing some of these manually if I can get them. At least all the hangars are in this small area, so I could feasibly just go collect all the robots. That is an option. But first I'm going to finish this and then I'll have a think about it. So I think the TARDIS I'm going to get for this is probably something like this. Then do the... No, actually I don't want to do that. I was going to say then change the belts in the other direction. The problem is I need to do input and output on the same belt because, hey, beacons and they're annoying. So that doesn't work. It does need to be this way round. The question is exactly where. I'm thinking like there. That's probably as about out the way as I'm going to get. So they all come across and they provide output as well. So I do need a filter on this because it's going to be mixed, and I've got modules as well. So input, output. Actually, this one's only input, so yeah, I guess I could have conceivably put it somewhere else, but let's just keep this simple. So that makes that a little bit more compact actually, and it can move over to there. I think that's fine because if that can get under there, yes it can, then that's fine. So that fixes up that. That doesn't need to go anywhere else because that just uses those and that. And then that can output there, so that's fine. This is the shared input. This will be green wire and logic circuits. So logic circuits there, green wire there. So I wonder if I can make that a little bit further apart. Yes, I can. So if they're there, side load that. So that takes care of that one easily. Then as for this one wants the arithmetic. That's this one. So actually, if I move that down like that, I guess it's probably the ties I'm going to get. Then can bring those in there, and they can come across there and go down there. And they need to be on actually this side, so let's do it that way for safety. So another input there, and hopefully this now works. Right, one little mistake there, so that needs to go like that. They do need inputs, which means that needs to move down a tile. Provide another input. So output for yield modules. Yield modules go over to this one. Guess I'll change it around this way because it's going to be easier to have yield modules on the bottom. So yield modules and efficiency modules. And actually I did think of a good way of doing this just now. So if I delete all the hangars except these two, then all the bots would have to either be deleted and go back to storage, and then they'll go to the requested chest, or they'll be in these particular hangars. And probably I could do this by creating a copy of this and then creating a deconstruction planner, or well, just having a copy of this and then I can place it on top. I need a landmark though to start with. Let's start with that inserter, that splitter there on the corner. So I can build this over the top like so, safely, and it shouldn't change anything, except it should rebuild the hangars I'm about to delete. That will be a complete and utter disaster. So hangars, I think there's some along here. There's one, there's one. So at this point there's only 21 logistics robots and trail construction robots in the network, which is just these Mark II ones. So turn that back on. So this should now slowly upgrade those. So it's going to have a little bit of downtime because unlike the robot replacer thing, it's not going to do it as they're available. I've done it all in one go. Now if I manage to put this in exactly the same spot like so, it should put all the robot ports down. And I think there's one extra one I deleted from Well, I found I needed the extra one over here. I'm not sure why there was one over here anyway. Must have been because of something at some point. Yeah, so they've now all rebuilt those and getting more robots made, so hopefully this will soon be fully operational again. Right, something I'm thinking is, so if this uses one robot frame every 6 seconds, and this produces 2 every 15 seconds, that's basically 1 every 7 seconds. These are a bit slower, so because of this whole setup, I don't really want to have multiple of these machines. It'd be kind of a pain to work with. So what I think I'll do is, doesn't quite fit there, does it? I can fit there. I'll put some speed beacons down, and then that can provide a fairly straightforward speed boost. Yeah, that's going to be a problem for another time. So it's going to be fairly simple with logistics robots. It is kind of tempting, especially as I would like to get this done in November, and that's, well, getting towards the end of November. It would be a lot quicker to do this with requester boxes, even if it's less interesting. So it's from like a puzzle perspective. There's no puzzle. Well, there is just no puzzle to requester boxes. It's like you just put them wherever. Especially stuff like this that's low volume. It's like we're never going to have volume issues, so it doesn't really matter where you put it. Speaking of volume issues, I think I do actually need more of these. I think I can manage that though, but the issue is going to be issues inserters on this. So let's see if I can fix it up, and then I'll have to have a think about whether I want to go to a just easier way to get things done or not. So let's move that out the way. So get 2 of those in at least. I'll probably even get 3 of them in there if I wanted 3. Possibly save that problem for later. So I think what I need to do is move that there. That can move there, and that can move there, so it can still get its stuff. What that means is if I have a long inserter there, let's just fix that power, then I can bring that down there, and actually that needs to move there then. But overall that should work. Well, I think I'm going to leave it there for today. So I have got the Robot 2s, and they're slowly filling up the roboports, so that's nice. And eventually I'll get back to the 500 target number, thereabouts. You know, as soon as I say that, our spot zone is broken. What's broken with the stuff down here? Oh, I see. I should have probably made these have priority over these. So these have filled up the tanks. And I don't want to just vent it. That was the whole point of this complicated situation. I probably should have a rethink on this, but this is what I came up with late at night. Problem is though, because these just keep going until they fill up. I don't know why that is there. I must have just been measuring space or something. So they have filled up, and then these can't run because these feed into these. So I should have stopped these from filling up the tanks entirely. Okay, I think I have a solution. So if I change that to that, what I can do then is put a small pump on there. So one small pump which will go there, and what I can do with that is add a circuit condition to it. Now since I got rid of all my wires, let's make some more wire. So add a circuit condition to that. So reading this is the quantity. If I go there, then I'm going to say enabled condition is everything less than, let's say 2000. I really don't need to have a full tank of everything anyway. So this is going to stop the hydrogen going in here, which is large of the inputs. So that's going to make these run out of hydrogen, and then, well, then they'll stop outputting. So all I need to do then is actually use up some gas temporarily, just to kind of kickstart that into running out of hydrogen. And probably the easiest way I can do that really is just to vent it. So turn that back off again. So hydrogen is now vacated from this pipe here, which means these can do something, which means the solvent should work, which means I should be getting batteries and stuff again. Yep, that has fixed the battery production. And epoxy, what's the problem with epoxy? Or is it just taking time to get through? So epoxy is waiting on solvent. Okay, I guess it's a priority thing. So this solvent's currently going that way instead of that way. And until this fluid system kind of bans itself out again, these aren't going to run at full speed, I think, because yeah, they're still waiting on methane, and this is still kind of blocked up a bit because it needs to wait for this propane to get used up a tad. So actually another mistake. So that should have been anything. And apparently I must have burned off all the ethylene, so that's an interesting mistake to make. Nothing else apparently, but then these output very little ethylene. So I might need to actually do something more complicated with this. So I could also turn the propane. And there I was thinking I was done for night. This is going to get complicated. So I can turn propane into methane as well, and that burns, also produces ethylene. I guess the methane is still my limiting factor. Like, I want to say, once I have methane, it's done. This would be a lot easier if I'd moved this stuff here, because a lot of stuff uses propane and it's just not down here. And I think that's where the unbalance is coming from, that I've not got the rubber production. I'm just trying to drive plastic by itself. So I realised I left all my robots back when I was doing the upgrade, so I went for some of those to get delivered. But the propane does look like this. I just copied that for now to have a look at it. So that's going to be a similar idea of single input. And since the propane seems more... Yeah, I'm not sure how I want to drive this. I guess I want to drive both of these through relief valves. Maybe I'll rebalance how my outputs work. The methane should be easy though, so... Methane is that one. I think... Hard to tell these icons sometimes. Yeah, methane's that one. So methane is the important thing here that I want to just go up and join that one up there. So let's get that one out the way. Oops, that pipe can't go there. It can go there though. So that's there, because methane is still... Whatever comes, methane is my limiting factor. If I've got enough methane, I think I want to stop actually producing both these recipes. Then propane is going to be the input there, and ethylene and benzene can just merge together. What I think I'm going to do is change exactly how I did the ethylene on this. So let's see which one's ethylene. Ethylene would be the middle one. That's convenient. So middle one can go here. Bring those across. Then benzene will be the... What do I mean different fluids? Propane. Oh, I forgot to set the recipe. Thank you. Very well, game. You did save me from a mistake. So methane is that. And ethylene is this. And ethylene I am going to merge with... Was it this one here? Yep, this one here. But I'm not going to merge it there. I'm going to merge it up here because I think I need to change... I can just move that radar out the way. That would be easier. I think I'm going to change how that works exactly to control the amount that's produced. Then what else do I have here? Benzene, well, benzene's still a surplus product, so that can just link straight up to that, no problems at all. So I want to avoid burning ethylene if I can, so what I'm thinking is... Do I keep these tanks here? I could move them around, but I guess I'll leave it here for now. So what I'm thinking is... Once that is too full, so that's going to carry on doing whatever it was doing before, so that is... Yeah, ethylene for other uses. Okay, that makes sense. That's 2 underground pipes. So get rid of that, get rid of that. Put a new power thing up there. So that goes into a second tank, and then when the second tank overflows, that's when it's available for basically dumping. So change that to that and remove that. So then when this tank has anything in it at all, move the power pole again. I can then use that for the methane production. So I'm keeping a tank here for stuff that needs ethylene and there's no other choice. In fact, since I've not put a pump there, that tank's not being used to capacity, I think that needs to be an auxiliary valve instead. So the first 25% is going just for that. And ideally then on this, so that would be about 2,000. Yeah, so we're going to try and stop this before we get to that point if possible. Then I think do the same with propane, so get rid of that. Have that feed into a second tank instead. Trying to work out which way around connects on that. I think it's that way. Like I need another tank quickly, so let's just make some more of those. Did that actually connect? I think the answer is no. Let's try there instead then. Okay, that connects. So same thing, when the second tank overfills, I'll use that. So change those to that, I think. So fill up the second tank. When that overfills, then it's available for dumping. And there's 3 pipes there, which doesn't leave me space for another pipe. That wasn't too well thought through. Can I move I guess I can move this pipe here. So CO2 is going to move over here. That means then the propane can come here, and that's going to come up, and basically it's going to work the same as I did with the ethylene. So that's going to come across, and then I'll feed that into those. So I don't need a massive surplus of anything, so let's call that 1,000. And 3,000 is probably fair, so it's going to try and build up that ethylene. Also, that output probably should have linked up with this output here for ethylene. So let's just change that. Where is that ethylene pipe? It's there. Guess I can move that, but that's inconvenient actually, that's not going to work. It has to go there. So that might as well go back, and I'll put that there. So I'm still venting propane, which means I think I just don't have enough of this. So hopefully if I build some more of these, then it will stop venting the propane. So I'm going to have to watch this, but I think at the moment I've got no more propane being vented, no more ethylene being vented. So the only issue then is benzene, and really at the moment I have nothing to do with benzene. Like, I've looked at the recipes before, that's the whole part of the reason why I kept doing the chlorine plastic for so long. Because I ended up with benzene, I just couldn't use it. So benzene is going to be the only thing that's vented. And in fact, I'm going to have to think about it, but it might even be better just to delete these pipes and only have the venting set up for the benzene. And another problem seems to be hydrogen, so I wasn't getting enough, so I put a pump on here to try and speed it up so that get these running, but it doesn't seem to be helping entirely, but it's getting a bit faster. Because I think this one here, so this is the input, this was about 1,000 before I put the extra pumps in. So putting the extra pump in has helped to get up to 1,400, of which most of it goes down here. So I think I've got some better pipes coming up, so maybe the answer to that is just upgrade the pipe. So that's also a problem to solve next time, so we have to have a bit more think about this, I think. But as I said before, I have had a very successful upgrade on the robots, so that's going to help me do things a lot faster for sure. And I have got a bunch more intermediate products I'm going to need for various bits and pieces. I've got the acrylic, I've got the carbon fibre, and I've got the batteries done, and I had the fiberglass and the hard glass and stuff done previously as well. So that's all good stuff to have. So have a think about how to fix this balance here, how to fix the chlorine, but that will be coming up next time, so be sure to like, subscribe and look out for that.